Okay, so we have learned what all concepts are there in the sets, like union, intersection, and then difference between the set, and how do we apply union and intersection to calculate in the problems. Okay, all that are considered. Now, after this, what are we trying to do is, we will go to Venn diagrams. Whatever we have learned in the sets, let us try to represent that using these Venn diagrams. Okay, so that is what we are going to learn with Venn diagrams. Now, first, let us see what are Venn diagrams. Now, a diagrammatic representation of sets and property of sets. See, it's not only sets that we represent, but along with sets, the properties of sets are also involved. So properties of sets may be which set you are supposed to consider and how are you supposed to consider. Okay, and all that union, intersection, and difference that we calculate, all that come under properties of set. So Venn diagram is nothing but a diagrammatic representation of sets, and properties of sets is called Venn diagram. Okay, so it's in the name of a famous mathematician Venn. Okay, this person Venn is the one who actually devised this Venn diagrams to make it easier for people to solve the situation and get the answer. Okay, these Venn diagrams are used, a part of it are used in industries. Maybe in their manufacturing sector, sometimes they wanted to know few things. So, and there are many more applications for Venn diagrams, which we will see later. Okay, so the first thing under Venn diagrams is a set. How do we represent a set? Now in Venn diagrams, we only deal with diagram part first. Okay, so the first step in the problem is, we are going to analyze the whole problem or the statement using the Venn diagram. Now in Venn diagram, we are going to have, or we are going to use this circle, a proper circle, or a oval. Okay, a proper circle or a oval. Now usually you can use both of them, that's not a problem. In few problems, when we draw a circle, we also use a oval in that. Okay, so the first thing is, a set is represented by a circle or a closed figure. It's a closed figure. Open figure is something like this. It is not completely closed from all the four sides. Okay, or if I just leave it like this, it's a open figure. Okay, so this Venn diagram is supposed to be given in a, or it is supposed to be represented in a circle or a closed figure. Okay, now moving on further, we will understand each of it. How do we represent in a Venn diagram? Before we get into problems, we will understand how it is to be done. Now before I start with universal set, did you all understand how we are supposed to, how we are supposed to use this Venn diagrams? Did you understand the concept of Venn diagram first? I want everybody to reply. Okay, so Venn diagram is nothing but, we represent the set and its properties in a closed figure. Okay, we usually use a circle or a closed figure. Now why it is called a closed figure, we will understand here. Now for representing universal set. Now what is a universal set? It's a bigger set where it has all the required elements in it. Okay, so from that universal set, we are going to derive lot of small other sets. Okay, so universal set is represented by this closed figure, usually a rectangle. Okay, so this universal set is usually a closed figure. See, that is why they told closed figures. Closed figures means it's not open in any part of the or in any corner. It's completely closed, and inside this we are going to draw the circles. So when we are only talking about universal set, which means there should be this rectangle which is supposed to be present. Okay, so that is universal set. Did you all understand universal set? Did you all understand universal set? Okay, now going on to the next, which is A union B. Now in A union B, first of all, what is union? Can somebody say me what is union? What do we consider when we say it is union? Together, okay. Any other word? We consider both A and B. Okay, unification, where we consider all the elements of A as well as all the elements of B. Okay, so when we are representing, yeah, correct, both A and B is also right. Now when we are representing A union B, firstly you're supposed to draw a universal set. Okay, so first we are supposed to draw a universal set. Now in this universal set, inside this we have two sets, which is A and B. Now if you see, this is one circle, this is one circle, and this is the other circle, and both the circles are overlapping here. Correct? Both the circles are overlapping here. That is because there is some common element in the set, and there is also some elements which is not common. So first we'll have to draw the universal set, then we'll have to draw set A, that's one circle, and set B, which is other circle, and then we are supposed to shade the portion which represents A union B. So first in A union B, we consider all the elements of A. Okay, we consider all the elements of A, that is this first circle, and then we consider all the elements of B. Okay, so first we consider all the elements of A, and then we consider all the elements of B, which means you're supposed to shade whole of this circle. Did you all understand that? Did you all understand how to draw A union B? We would require all of this in solving the problems. Anybody still has doubt? Okay, okay. Once again, I'll explain it once again. Need not worry. First, for any of it, we are supposed to draw a universal set. Okay, first you're supposed to draw a universal set. Okay, universal set is nothing but one big triangle you draw. Inside this universal set, we will have set A. Okay, we will have set A, and then we will have another set which is B. Okay, sorry for that bad circle. Let me try and use the annotation here. Just wait a second. Yeah. So I have one circle and I have another circle. Okay, so this is one is circle A and another one is circle B, and here we have a universal set. Okay, now in this, what is gonna happen? Now this is universal set, that is this full one, and then this is set A, and then we have set B. Now this first circle is set A, the second circle is set B. Now what do we understand by A union B? In A union B, we first consider all the elements that are in A. Yes or no? We consider all the elements that are in A. A means this first circle. And then we consider all the elements that are in B. So this is known as A union B. So when they ask you to find out A union B, you just have to shade this full A and B circles. Okay, full A and B circles you're supposed to shade. Now did you all understand? Any doubts? Okay, now let us go to the next type. So we understood what is A union B. We understood what is universal set also. Okay. Now going further, next is A intersection B. Now in A intersection B, first of all, what do you mean by intersection? Now what do you find when we are calculating intersection? Correct. I want everybody to answer. Very good. So we are going to calculate, or we are going to find out the common elements. Now again, the first rule remains the same. That is, you're supposed to draw the universal set. Okay, so this is the universal set. All these elements, or apart from A and B, if there are any other elements, it comes in universal set. Okay, now let us take some example and then we will draw. Now universal set is 1. Okay, wait a second. Now universal set is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, let me add a flower bracket for the set. So this is universal set. Then we have set A, which is nothing but 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, we'll take this also, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And then we have set B, which is 1, 3, 5, 7, no, 1, 3, 5 is enough. 7 and 9, let it be there. Okay, so this is an example. Now what is going to happen with this is, universal set, there are elements from 1 to 10, correct? And then we have A and then we have B. Okay, wait, I think I'll have to change a little bit of A and B because there are no common elements. Let us say this is 1, 2, and then 4, no, 3, and then 4. Okay, yeah, I think this would do good. Now, can you all say me what all elements I should write in A? Now inside the diagram, I have a universal set. I have set A, which is represented by a circle here. Now what all elements am I supposed to write here in A? Sure? Okay. Okay, as you say, I'll write 6, 8, and 10. What all elements I'll write in B? Only in B. 1, 3, 5. Okay. Now what should I write in this shaded portion then? I'm supposed to write 2 and 4. Okay. And any other number is left out to be written? Any other number is left out to be written? Correct. 7 and 9 is left out. So 7 and 9, I write it outside. Very good. Many of you have understood the actual concept. I'm going to repeat it again. Okay, just wait a second. Let me use another color. And bring it to the side. Yeah. Okay. So now please listen. People who haven't understood, please listen here. Now universal set is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now coming to A, in the elements in A are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Absolutely correct. Okay. Now elements in B are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is also correct. But we have one portion here which is shaded. And if you see here, two circles are overlapping. Now, why do we represent like this? This is a place where it is common elements are written. Now, out of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there are two elements which are common. That is 2. See, 2 is present in both the places. Okay. 2 is present in both the places and 4 is also present in both the places. So what we do, instead of writing it here, I'm going to write 2 and 4 in this place because it is common in nature. Okay. But when I'm writing the elements of A, okay, when I'm writing the elements of A, I'm supposed to add this common elements and write. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 will be my set A, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will be my set B. Are you all able to understand? From this, you're able to write, in the Venn diagram. Again, from this, when I am supposed to write back to the set form, I have to add this common elements for A, and also I am supposed to add the common elements for B. Are you all able to understand? Yes or no? Okay. Now, apart from 1, 2, 3, now here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is covered, 6 is covered, 8 is covered, 10 is covered. There are two more numbers which are remaining. Now, which are those two more numbers? 7 and 9. Now, 7 and 9 from universal set is not in A nor in B. I have not considered it that 7 and 9 in A, not even in B I have considered them. So they will remain in the universal set. So outside the circle, I'm going to represent 7 and 9 because this whole box, okay, whatever is inside the box is a universal set. Okay. Now here, the thing that you're supposed to understand is the common elements that we find in A intersection B are supposed to be written in the center here. Okay, are supposed to be written in the center where two circles overlap. Okay, so that is your A intersection B concept. Did you all understand? Everybody understood? Okay. Now we had the sets and we understood how to represent it in a diagram. Let us do the other way around. Now I will write the elements here and you have to say me what is set A, set B and the universal set. Okay. Now let us write. So first A, B, C, D, E, F, G, Okay, so this is C and one is C and one is E. And then here I have H, I, J, K, L. And then outside I have M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T. Now, firstly, can you say me what is set A? I'm just going to write whatever you people say, okay? So, what is set A? A, B, C, D, okay, E, F, G. Okay, so is this set A? Everybody agrees? Everybody agrees that it is set A? Okay, now what is set B? Now say me what is set B? Okay, C, E, and then H, I, J, K, L. Is this set B? Does everybody agree with set A and set B? Okay. Now can you say me what is universal set? Quickly, I want everybody to answer. Only whatever I have written here is universal set in outside the box. People see the diagram carefully. What is universal set? Okay. Now what I told, whatever is available, okay, whatever is there inside this box, everything is universal set. Now when I say whatever is there inside the box, which means set A and set B are also inside the box. Correct? So in that scenario, I am supposed to take the elements of set A, that is A, then B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, and T. So my universal set is this. So which means I consider all the elements, okay, I consider all the elements from A, I consider all the elements from B. Apart from this, I also consider these elements which are still available in universal set. Did you all understand now? Any doubts? Everybody understood? Okay. Now, can we go further for the next one? That is A minus B. Okay, there's some problem here. I'll check this out. Okay, now coming to A minus B. This is nothing but difference of set. Now we have set A and then we have set B. Okay, now A minus B. What does A minus B means? Go back, check the difference of sets. What do you mean by A minus B? We had already calculated A minus B. Go back, check your notes. Say me what is A minus B? Subtracting B from A. I want the meaning. Difference of sets. How do we find A minus B? It's not subtracting B from A directly. Come on, go back and check. People are supposed to know it by now. No, nobody knows it. Elements of A not there in B. Okay, somewhat correct. Yes, Bindu. What is difference of sets or difference in sets? Read this, which is not in common. Complements. No, complements are not difference. There's lot of difference between complements and difference in sets. Read this. Let A and B be any sets, any two sets, then the difference A minus B is defined to be the set of all those elements. No, Rida, it's not subset and superset. No, wait. It is not subset and superset. You'll have to get clarity on the definitions. Okay, so set of all those elements of A which are not in B. So we understood here we have set A, B, C, D, and set B, D, E, F, G, H, I. Now how do we find A minus B? Set of those elements of A which are not in B. Now when we are talking about not in B, A is in B? No. So A is considered. Leave out the common elements. See, D is a common element, right? Leave out the common elements which are in A and B and only write down the left out elements in A. Okay, only write down the left out elements in A. So A, B and C are not common with B. But when you take D, D is common with B. So that is why we don't consider D. Correct? So this is A minus B. When it comes to B minus A, in that scenario, we consider all the elements that is in B, which is not in A. All the elements which is in B, which is E, F, G, H, I. D is a common element which is in A as well as B. So we will not consider the common element. Everybody understood? A minus B. Let's go back to the Venn diagram now and see how to represent that. Okay. Going back to the Venn diagram part where we had A minus B. Now in this A minus B, you have set A. This is set A and this is set B. Now when I'm talking about A minus B, I'm supposed to only share the A part. Okay, I'm supposed to only shade the A part, but do not include the common element. This is empty. Okay, I have not shaded this part because elements which are present only in A and not in B. If I shade this part also, which means common elements are included. So that is why this is left over, and I only shade the A part, which is saying me only whichever elements were there in A, I am supposed to consider that. Understood? Are you following? Are you all able to follow it? Yes. Now, similarly, let us see what is B minus A. Now, you guys have to say me what is B minus A. What do we find in B minus A? Quickly. What do we find in B minus A? In A minus B, we see all the, no Ravi, it's not only common elements. We don't consider common elements. Okay, we leave out common elements and we consider the other elements. Okay. Yeah, the elements which are present in B but not in A. Very good. Yeah, elements in B which are not in A. If you are giving good answers. Yes, I want everybody to answer quickly. It's okay if you give wrong answers. That is how you learn. Elements of B which are not in A. So I do not consider the common elements. I leave out the common elements and I consider the leftover elements in B. That is B minus A. So everybody is clear with A minus B and B minus A? Okay. Now moving on further. Subset. Okay, let us understand what is subset, how to draw a subset or represent a subset. This is very, very important. Now, subset means the set which involves all the elements of the other set. Correct? Now, let's take an example. With examples, I think it will make it easier for you. So, let's take an example. Set A is equal to, one second. Set A is equal to, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, this is set A. Now, okay, that B is outside, right? So we'll take set B. This is set B. And then we have set A. Set A is equal to 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Now, which is the subset and which is the superset? Out of A and B that I have written here, which is the subset and which is the superset? B is the subset. Rakshita, think again. B is the superset because it has more elements and it has common elements with A. So A is the subset. So I can say here A is the proper subset of B. Correct? I can say A is the subset of B. Now, how do I represent that? A has 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Correct? Now, B already have all these numbers. B have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So B is having all the 9 numbers. Out of these 9 numbers, I'm just taking 5 numbers to A. So subset is always represented with a bigger circle, that is the superset. Okay, B is the superset, this is the superset, and inside this you'll have a smaller circle which is the subset. Okay, so this is the subset. And always for every Venn diagram, your